Good morning, Charlie. Thank you so much for the update on Investor Talk this morning. It sounds to me like we as shareholders have a lot to look forward to. Can you tell us more about the milestones you're working towards right now?
Yes, good to see you, Tracy. We're excited about the growth initiatives that we have in place. The biggest one being our NOS Tech Service Contract Placement entity, and it's focused in the states at the state level and at the pharmaceutical level, where there's been a little bit of disruption right now with some of the policies that are coming out of Washington, but we're pivoting on some fronts to get into industrial sector and commercial sector in a much bigger way. And we've been surprised at how that pivot has worked out so far for us. So that's good. We're expecting a good, solid fiscal year. This year, we're just a couple of months into our first quarter, and we're up 21% in revenues already. So it's been steady, and growth is still the focus. We're we're in a positive EBITDA position if you take out all the investment that's been thrown at the four growth initiative fronts we've been working on for the last year and a half to 2 years. So we're excited about having actual profit months this fiscal year. So uh, yeah, I'd be smiling more often if I were a shareholder.
And for those of you out there who are not shareholders and they're going, who's a nerd? Who's a nerd on site? Can you give us kind of an update? And I'm going to start by hitting one of the key points that really resonated with me, which is that you've been in business for over 30 years and you have over 12,500 small to medium sized clients already. So, how about we start there?
Sure. Well, we're in the four sectors. We do have residential, SOHO, SME, and enterprise. Our largest single client is Canadian Tire, and they are still only about 3.45 or 6% of our revenue stream. But we have some other major industrial players that are clients as well. So we do have enterprise offerings. But yes, our sweet spot is the SME, the real power, the heart of global economy, and certainly Canadian and American economies. So we're still developing more product offerings for them, specifically on the cybersecurity front, to make certain that they are in a, we'll call it not just a protective stance, but a proactive protective stance. We have a commitment to data sovereign data custody, making certain that all of their data is kept by them and only them and not shared in any way, shape, or form, even when they're accessing AI tools like ChatGPT and such. We've developed a private LLM, large learning modules for them to make certain that they don't share their information with the rest of the world. And that is, I believe, going to become a much more penetrating concern as time goes on, once people start to realize that the commodity of their data is now quite literally, I believe, the largest commodity market in the world. It isn't traded on a public marketplace where we can witness it, but on the dark web, it's hundreds of billions of dollars worth of data trade taking place regularly. And it's all unknown, unbeknownst to the vast majority of people. Every now and then they'll see a breach of some sort with them, just recently Google and Microsoft. They don't realize that that data breach means that information was taken from those companies' files. It was reshaped, reconfigured, repackaged, and put out to market, sometimes within 24 hours, that fast. And so on the dark web, fresh data, personal identifying information is available for sale. And that means, you see ads, hear ads every now and then about somebody could put a mortgage on a piece of property of yours without you knowing it. It does happen. Money can be moved from bank accounts that you thought were secure. It does happen. And this is all because of those data breaches. They get enough pertinent information, private identifying information, that they can access assets of yours.
When we were speaking earlier, we were discussing when does someone call a nerd? And you said calling a nerd is preventative. That is when it is most powerful. So, say I'm an individual investor and I've watched this interview and I'm like, when do I call a nerd? When and how do I get access to a nerd, Charlie?
1877 My Nerd will get you direct access to us immediately. And I think I mentioned, most people call when there's a fire. That means that something's broken or something's not working. And it needs to be fixed, which is fine. So the break fix, it may be the reason we come in to begin with. And then we'll help you become more aware of the danger when it comes to unprotected devices. And that's where we want to make the biggest mark going forward, bringing up that awareness so people start to make certain nobody gets my stuff unless I decide to share it with them.
And you mentioned a product that's $39 a month. It sounds like, dear heavens, I got another problem with my computer. I don't know how to deal with it. Can you tell us a little bit more about that service?
Yes, yeah. Our offering in that space is called Nerds Online. And that literally for $39 a month, you'll be able to phone in to an 800 number and get any kind of answer you're looking for. Like not just, device answers, but how do I do this on Excel? Or how do I create an image on a Word document? Like any question you have whatsoever, those can be answered with this particular service. So it's just it's like a bedside friend. When you're just not sure about something, you can make a quick call and get the process how to, or get assurance that you've done it properly.
Well, and of course, if I want to find out more about Nerds on Site, I go to the following website. Charlie, thank you so much for joining us today. And remember, everybody, their trading symbol is, of course, NERD, nerd. Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you, Trace. Good to see you.